As we all know, Donald Trump is the most corrupt and incompetent president the United States has ever had. Taco Tits is back with tariffs, but something the tariffs are distracting from is how anti-Semitic Donald Trump is. He wants to go after Harvard students. He wants to go after professors at different colleges and university and call them anti-Semitic, when in reality, he is the one running around saying Jewish anti-Semitic slurs over the weekend.
What I said is not going to help. But if you love them or if you love somebody that you're leaving it to, think of that. No death tax, no estate tax, no going to the banks and borrowing from, in some cases, a fine banker, and in some cases, Shylocks and bad people. But they took...
Okay. And now he's saying, oh, well, I didn't know that was a Jewish slur. Horse shit. You damn sure did. You used it in context. You knew exactly how it was used, and you don't give a shit. And here's the thing about Donald Trump. If he were not anti-Semitic, he would not have hosted Nick Fuentes at Mar-a-Lago. He would not have allowed Elon Musk to come into his administration after he did 2 sick Heils on Inauguration Day. So the fact that he's running around fining people and trying to shut down grants and doing all of the things in the name of anti-Semitism, I mean, remember, he's calling Chuck Schumer Palestinian Senator Chuck Schumer. That is anti-Semitic. This man is a white supremacist, full stop. You know, stand back, stand by. I'll take you. It goes all the way back to that point. But this man has absolutely no respect for anybody other than himself, money. I'm not even going to say white men, although I think he is a white supremacist, but he respects money and himself, full stop. Doesn't give a shit about the American people. And again, to prove how much he doesn't care about the American people, he's back and forth on tariffs. Here we go again. You know, the market, the dollar globally, all the things starting it again. And here we have Donald Trump talking about how everybody's kissing his ass because of these tariffs.
These countries are calling us up, kissing my ass. They are dying to make a deal. Please, sir, make a deal. I'll do anything, sir.
Why haven't we seen the kind of deals that he promised in the last 90 days?
Again, he didn't promise this. And when we send out the 100 letters to these countries, that will set their tariff rate. So we're going to have 100 done in the next few days. And
but that's not a deal. That's a threat.
No, that's the level. That's the deal. If you want to trade with the United States, this is.
But that's not a negotiation. That's just
many of these countries never even contacted us.
Let's go back to the debate. And Kamala Harris said, "You are a laughingstock to other world leaders. Nothing could be truer." Because unlike the MAGA triple Trumpers, they know that Donald Trump's art of the deal is the art of the bankruptcy. They know he is a terrible businessman. They know he has more, almost $600 million judgment against his companies because he's a fraud in the state of New York. This man is not a good deal maker. He was on a reality show that made him look like a good deal maker. And this, they're kissing my ass. Sir, we'll do anything. That's what he has to tell himself because he knows he's such a failure and he's so insecure and he cannot accept the fact that everyone has told him to get lost because nobody fears him because he is a laughing stock. And so moving on, Trump's decided to send letters to some countries about the tariffs. Put it up, Kylie.
What happened to 90 trade deals in 90 days?
We've spoken to everybody. We know everything. It's all done. I told you.
Okay, we just had Scott Besson on Sunday saying they haven't contacted us. So Donald Trump is lying through his bad makeup face. And if you're watching on YouTube, I want you to see his makeup is so bad today. It has a very, very serious line where he did not blend his foundation. His ears are 500 shades lighter. His mouth and eyes, they don't have makeup on it. He looks like he's wearing a clown mask. It is so embarrassing. Okay, Go ahead, Kylie. I'm sorry.
Some deals, but for the most part, we're going to send a letter. We're going to say, welcome to the United States. If you'd like to participate in the greatest, most successful country ever. I mean, we're doing better than ever. We have, I don't think, and you're going to see these numbers soon. We've never had numbers like this. We've never had investment like this. We have more than 90. We're going to have much more than 90, but most of those are going to be sent a letter. This is exactly what I said. Now we've made it.
Okay, here's the deal. He's sending letters because his Secretary of the Treasury admitted nobody's contacting him. And if you look at what he's saying, it's all fucking lies. The dollar is down. The GDP is down. The economy is headed for a recession. So he's sitting there lying with that terrible makeup because his triple Trumpers believe that because it's on Fox News. And he said it. So despite the fact that they're paying more and the cost of living is more, and now they're going to be taxed more, they're going to believe what he says instead of the reality of what is actually talking to him. Again, Donald Trump is a laughingstock if you just look at his makeup and stopped there. Listeners, we all know we have a responsibility to find the facts and get the correct information. And that's why the NPR Politics Podcast is a staple for Jennifer and I every single day. And the reason we like it is the NPR Politics Podcast team will focus on one thing and boil it down to 15 minutes or less. It's like a political multivitamin. The podcast team there is keeping their eye on the ball. It is so important that we all seek the correct information that's factual. Please listen now to the NPR Politics Podcast only from NPR, wherever you get your podcasts.
Does the idea of listening to political news freak you out? Well, don't sweat it. The NPR Politics Podcast makes politics a breeze. Every episode will break down the day's headlines into totally normal language and make sure that you walk away understanding what the day's news might mean for you. Take a deep breath and give politics another chance with the NPR Politics Podcast. Available wherever you get your podcasts.
And then here are the letters. Here are the letters. Donald Trump jail checker says the official presidential letter that went out to every nation on earth today. Okay, so here we go. Her Excellency. And then it says, Dear Mr. President. Okay, so what that tells me is this was a cut and paste, copy and paste, and nobody did any kind of review for editing to ensure that it was proper. And that's the incompetence of the Trump administration. You see, this might happen in normal business. He has every resource available to him on earth to fucking spell check, grammar check, proofread a letter that's going out to world leaders. Then he does the trade barriers as a proper noun and capitalizes them, which is grammatically incorrect. And then, thank you for your attention to this matter, exclamation point. So the President of the United States sends out a letter, and I don't think for a minute that he wrote this, but what that tells me, he does not have people that surround him that can blend his makeup. They can't tell him, you look like a fucking nut with your horrible makeup. Let us help you. He has no one competent in his administration that will say, let's proofread the letter you're sending out to world leaders. Hello? Like you proofread a 9th grade essay that you're turning in. Why are you not proofreading what's going out to the leaders of other nation? It blows my mind. Like my mind is totally boggled that this man has nobody around him that is competent at all, period, full stop. And then, the big trade expert, Peter Navarro, who he pardoned, who went to jail for him for contempt of court because he wouldn't have his back and say he had an executive privilege in his contempt of Congress. But now he's the big trade expert, and we all know he's a dipshit. So here's what he had to say about the 90 deals, 90 days tariffs.
And I think this is great. But I'll come back tomorrow.
Why were there not 90 deals in 90 days?
Because the rest of the world has it so good.
Okay, stop it right here. Peter, the answer to that question is the reason we don't have any deals is because Donald Trump is a laughingstock. He is not a serious person. And they know that he'll taco tits it around because he's already extended the deadline from July 9th to August 1st. And he does that. Why? Because he has no conviction. He doesn't believe this is the right thing. He just doesn't want his friends to be mad at him. He doesn't want people, he wants everybody to think he's so popular and he's making these deals, but nobody will do it because they know he doesn't have any kind of grasp on how tariffs work, how an economy works, and they damn sure know he can't run a business. So why in the hell would anybody come to the table with this man who is such a moron? Like, there are not enough words to describe what a disaster he has been for the economy. And we're getting word now that, the job numbers that he's leaking, the job numbers came out well below the projected of over 100,000 new jobs. It was only 33,000. Well, guess what? I think we're going to start to see books being cooked by these people in his administration because they want it to look like that Donald Trump is doing such a great job. So we'll be watching for that. Please like this video. Please subscribe to our channel. We're trying to get to 1 million followers, and we'll see you soon.